How's it going, everybody? My name is Doodles, and now this week is going to be a very morbid one, and not the nicest way to kickstart the week, but it has to be done. There's some very morbid news stories and ones that I aren't particularly looking forward to reporting, but that's just the nature of the series. So without further ado, this is This Week in Music. Emerson. Keith Emerson of Emerson, Lake and Park has sadly passed away at the age of 71 last week. The death is being treated as a suicide, as he apparently suffered a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And suicide is not nice at the best of times, but it's really sad when it occurs later on in someone's life. And it really shows that we don't really know what goes through people's heads that take them at that point and make them feel like they have to commit that act and end their own life. It's truly tragic, and my heart goes out to all of Keith Emerson's family and friends. George Martin. Beatles producer George Martin sadly passed away this week at the age of 90. The cause of death has yet to be established, but tributes have been pouring in from around the world. I've got a few of the tributes and quotes here for you now, so I'm just going to read these out for you. Ringo Starr said, "God bless George Martin, peace and love to Judy and his family, love Ringo and Barbara, George will be missed." Adam Sharp, who represented George Martin, issued a statement that said, "We can confirm that Sir George Martin passed away peacefully at home yesterday evening, Tuesday the 8th of March. The family would like to thank everyone for their thoughts, prayers and messages of support." In a career that spanned 7 decades, he was recognised globally as one of the music's most creative talents and a gentleman to the end. The family asked for their privacy to be respected at this time. George Martin was often referred as the 5th member of the Beatles, having worked with the band from the early days right until their final Abbey Road album. He was very innovative in his style of producing, and he helped establish a notion that a band studio album could be classed as a work of art. ACDC. Now, while these next stories are not necessarily about death, they are very tragic news and very unfortunate occurrences in the world of rock music, but this story is about ACDC. Brian Johnson risks permanent hearing loss if he continues touring. The remaining ACDC tour dates have been cancelled and hopefully are going to be fulfilled later in the year with a guest singer, but it looks like there's a very good chance that Brian Johnson may not perform for ACDC again, which, who knows, it might lead to their eventual breakup because Malcolm's already gone. There's been issues with Phil and now Brian. It's not looking good, and these sort of stories really do hit home that the rock stars that we grew up idolising aren't really immortal. I know it sounds really weird to say, but these people have been in our life since many of us have been small children, and we've never known life without them, and especially with guys like Lemmy passing away last year, and now loads of bands are calling it quits, and other people are dying constantly. It really shows that these rock stars that we idolise truly are just human beings, and bad things happen to them and eventually it'll be their time to go. But I really hope this isn't the end of ACDC, but if it is, they've had a fantastic career that has spanned over 40 years, and not many bands can say that, and I think ACDC have truly cemented their legacy in the rock and roll history. Rush. Now, this is just as bad as that one, but Rush are officially calling it quits when it comes to touring, and more than likely as a band as a whole. Neil Peart, the drummer in Rush, has long complained about health issues and the fact that it takes so much out of him when he tours. Now, Rush recently wrapped up a mega tour to celebrate 40 years of Rush, and Neil Peart has confirmed that he is no longer going to be drumming in Rush. I know some people might say that why don't you just get a new drummer, but with bands, especially like Rush, each member in that band are that important that you can't just replace them, and Neil Peart is the backbone of Rush, and it wouldn't be the same. No matter how good of a drummer you got, it would never be the same. However, I will say I'm very glad that I got to see Rush perform live at least once, because it was a fantastic show, and if you haven't seen them before live, check out the R40 DVD box set that they're releasing. It's absolutely fantastic, and it'll probably make you a bit sad that you aren't going to experience it live, because it truly is absolutely amazing. Black Sabbath. Now, it was reported quite a while ago that Black Sabbath were calling it quits after this final tour, which is titled The End. It was believed that no more new music is set to be released from the band also, but it's been confirmed that a new album is very likely, It will be the final one, it's the final nail in the coffin, and then Black Sabbath will be done. And then once again, it sucks that these bands are calling it quits, but you've got to think these bands were around in the 60s, and it's a long time. I mean, these people have had hellacious careers, and ones that are pretty much going to be unparalleled for a very long time, if ever. And it shows once again that rock stars that we idolise aren't immortal, and it all comes a time where they have to hang up their boots, like the rest of us will do in the future. And I really hope this final bit of music really does come full circle with a band, and then they can end on a high note. And I really hope the tour goes off without any problems, because Tony's had his issues, and obviously Ozzy Osbourne's pretty much deaf and whatever goes on in his head. So hopefully things go okay for the band. And it's going to be very, very sad when bands like Black Sabbath, Rush, ACDC all call it a day. It's a very, very sad time for the music industry, especially the rock and metal scene. It sort of feels like we're always in a ever state of mourning, because by the time we get over the death of one rock star, either another one dies or a band quits, and it's always just never ending sad news. And can we get some happy news? Can someone do something really, really happy? I'd love to actually be happy when I'm discussing something, because all these news stories just making me sad. The Eagles. And now, just to top it all off, the Eagles have apparently said that they're going to call it quits. Glenn Frey passed away in January. He was a founding member of the Eagles, and the Eagles have said that their performance at the Grammys this year would be their last, and they are no longer continuing as a band. And it's once again the same sort of situation with Rush, because a founding member has died and you can't really recapture it with anyone else, or would you even want to? I know some bands did, like Avenged Sevenfold, after the Rev died, they continued on, but the band have never been the same. They've released some good music, but they're not the same band anymore. And I think, especially when you get to the age that the bands like the Eagles and that are, you can't just start again, you're not in that position to, and I think it's probably best just to hold on to the memories that the fans and what they have, and just cherish the time that they had with Glenn. And yeah, sad news again, sad news again. We need something really positive going. Blink-182. Travis Barker has confirmed that Blink-182 have finished their new studio album, which is set to be released in the summer, along with a new single, and a tour is set to be announced very, very soon. This will be the first with Alkaline Trio vocalist Matt Skiba on vocal and guitar duties. Now, when Tom DeLonge left Blink-182, I really thought that was going to be the end of them. I know Mark and Travis have plus 44, but it's not really the same as Blink. But I've got to say, Matt has really stepped into the shoes nicely, and really does fit well with the band. And I'm really, really excited with this one. This is going to be his first studio album with the band, and I'm going to be curious. I'm going to be purchasing a day one for sure. I really do like Blink-182. And while we're talking about Blink-182, you've probably seen it already. If you frequent YouTube and you like music and metal music, you've probably seen this video already. But about a week ago, Jared Dines released a video called If Blink-182 Was Metal, in which he plays songs such as Damn It, The Rock Show, Down, I Miss You Always, etc, etc, in metal form. And I've got to say, really, really, really cool. I'll stick a little caption of it on screen somewhere around there now. And it turns out that Blink-182 saw it and they loved it. They tweeted him, they retweeted the video, they shared it on Facebook. And I've got to say, that's really, really cool. Jared Dines recently got a tweet from Kirk Hammett about his KHDK demo, which in itself is an honour to get recognised by someone like Kirk Hammett, but then to have Blink-182 and specifically Mark Hoppus message you and give his praise to the video, that's absolutely amazing. And it shows how big YouTube is, that it has this much of an impact in pop culture, and it's really, really cool. So Jared, if you ever watch this, be proud of yourself, because we all are. That was pretty damn awesome. And can't wait to see the next one, bro. Bryan Adams. Bryan Adams' 1946 Martin acoustic guitar was recently defaced by customs in Egypt. While in tour, he arrived in Egypt and the airport staff decided to pen over his guitar, and which would be pretty damn annoying in the first place, even if it was just a £200 off-the-shelf guitar. But this is a 1946, this is one old instrument, and one that has a lot of value, and although it is just pen and it can be fixed, it's still pretty damn annoying, and this sort of stuff shouldn't be going on. If this is what they want to do to something this precious, think what they do to the rest of our stuff. Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden's plane Ed Force One was recently damaged while in South America in a runway accident. 2 airport workers were injured and taken to hospital. They're expected to make a full recovery though, and Iron Maiden's tour is resuming as normal. The Eagles of death metal. And now a lot of you will know about the absolute tragedy that was the Bataclan terrorist attacks in November in Paris, France. But this week, Jesse Hughes said that he believes that the security guards at the Bataclan on that night were in on the terror attack. Apparently 5 or 6 people did not show up to work that night, which really did lax for security and make it easy for the terrorists to attack and do what they did. However, someone from the Bataclan did hit out and say that it's absolutely insane to think that they had any part in this happening, and that it's an absolute tragedy and this stuff would never be condoned and they had no part playing in. And Jesse Hughes then went on to apologise and say that his mind's all over the place and he didn't mean it. Obviously he's trying to still make sense of what's going on, which is fair enough. I just sort of wanted to report this and sort of how the story has progressed, because he's thought that it was a conspiracy, and then obviously he's realised that it's not after speaking to some people. And it really does show the long-lasting impact that although the attack itself was absolutely horrific, it's stuff that happens after the attacks that are just as horrific to some people. It's sort of similar to when people go to war and they never come back the same, and I don't believe the Eagles death metal and the survivors of the night are ever going to be the same. It's been about 4 or 5 months and Jesse still thinks about it every day, which he will for a very long time. And obviously these thoughts of conspiracy keep going around his head because he's just trying to make sense of it. Obviously you don't know why this happened and you want to know why in your mind, try to figure out why or what could he have done. I know he's often spoken about that, could he have saved anyone else? And it truly is tragic that some event like this can have that long lasting impact, and I really think it is going to affect them for a very long time. And as I said in previous videos, my heart goes out to the Eagles of death metal, all the survivors, all the victims' families and anyone that was involved in it. It was a truly tragic night, and one that I really hope the world doesn't have to experience ever again. Kanye West. Right, so this is normally the part of the video called This Week in Kanye. However, I haven't got anything. Kanye West has been a good boy this week. What is going on? What is going on? Kanye West always has something to complain about, and we always have something to report, but he's been a really good boy. He's been on business in Sweden, so he's been quite quiet and no one's pissed him off this week, which is very, very sad for me because it's my favourite part of the week. Kanye, please do something. Please piss someone off, please. Or come attack me, come on, do something. We need Kanye West news in this series. But I'll be on the lookout for Kanye West stuff over the course of the week for next week, because that is the end of the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like down below, somewhere down there. Leave a comment, let me know what you think of it, because I love reading your comments. And I can't wait to bring you more news next week, because my name is Doodles. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.